Alright, so once you have your exterior walls drawn to the best that you think, it's going to be a good idea to add some dimensions now before we start adding interior partitions and windows and doors and looking at floor systems. It's nice to have these walls kind of locked down in place. So I'm going to go to the Annotate tab. I'm going to use the Align dimension, and then it's going to be important. This is set to wall center lines by default. You want faces of core, and we're going to be going to our exterior core. So that's right there. And outside of that, on this type of wall, is the foam, the airspace, and the stone in this case. This is the framing dimension right here. So I'm going to click here, and then I'll just continue to do that as I go across the row. So I'm going to hit that corner. I'll hit this corner here, go down to this end and grab this one, and then outside of my house there, and I'm going to drop that chain along here. I'm going to do that on all four sides of my house. So again, just going through and grabbing those cores. I want to start. I missed that one. I should have started all the way up at the top of the house here when I do this. So you have a total. And again, I'm still going to cores as I work my way around. So it should be snapping to those. If not, make sure you modify that up in your options. And these are not like our final dimensions when we're all done. Like, you're going to clean some more up as you add more things. This is just to help us get a handle on your dimensions. If we need to clean them up, it's a lot easier to do it now than it is once you've got all kinds of things in your model. So I'll continue going around there, and I'll show you some things here. But let's say I need to modify some things. So like 9 foot, that looks great. 10 foot one, I wanted that to be probably 10. Maybe bump this to 17 as we move things around. You have to understand that it's not like Inventor where you double click the dimension. In Revit, you're going to select the element you want to move. So if I would like to move this wall, I click on it, notice that 1611 pops up. I can then type in that I want that to be 17 feet. Now, if I don't want that 17 feet to move, like if I go over here and I pick this wall, notice how this one is highlighted. If I change that, it could change that 17 foot dimension. So I can hit the little padlock on there, and that's always going to be 17 feet. And then I can go maybe to this one and say, okay, well, I really want this just to be 10 foot. And then I can choose to lock that wall down, go to the next one, and I'm going to select my element I want to move. So I'm going to hit this guy, and let's just make this like 19.6, or if you want to just round it to 20 feet. Wherever you're working in your model, keep it as close as you can to your sketch that you came up with. And then I'll go ahead and unlock this one. And this last one here, grab this exterior wall, and we'll make this just 9 feet. So I'm going to go around, go all the way around my house and get all my numbers to look a little bit cleaner. Like this row doesn't look too bad. A little bit of cleanup here. I'm going to go through and add another string kind of in the inside here, and then we'll cut back to our next step. So at this point, I've added enough dimensions to go all the way around the exterior of my home, and I cleaned them all up. So if this said like 11 foot and 10 and 9/16 or something, I cleaned that up. So in order to move that, I would select the element I want to move and then type that in. Now notice I have all these padlocked so that I can't move things around. So if I want to move this wall, like let's say I want to make this only 15 feet, first thing I have to do is unlock these two dimensions. After they're unlocked, then I can go through and say, okay, well, this is going to be 15 feet. And it'll pull that down, and it adds that extra foot to here. Now, I like keeping these dimensions locked because if you don't, you can slide things all around in your model as you're pushing those dimensions. And then when you're done, probably want to padlock those back together. But you want to work around your home, make sure things look nice and clean as best you can. I mean, don't go crazy here. We're not in the classroom. But try to work getting this as close to your model as you could. And then we'll pick up with adding some interior walls and doors and windows next.